Welcome to Strip Cover Lit, where we squeeze the bigger picture out of literature. I'm Adrian Fort, and we are here for a June TBR of sorts. This is not going to be a day-by-day representation of what we will have on the channel. Right now, I am trying to get further ahead with things so that these videos that take a little bit longer as far as production is concerned, I do not fall off of the daily upload bandwagon. We are over 400 days, I believe, approaching 450 days of consecutive uploads on the channel. There's been a few days where I have had multiple uploads on the channel, but overall, over 400 days now of literature every day. So I don't want to fall off of that. So right now I am 6 videos ahead in production. And once I get to about 10, I'm going to be able to take a little bit more time on some of these videos. So I understand what this looks like. I understand that these novel videos seem like they are going to be promised and never delivered. That is not my goal here. My goal here is to get back to this production. I was aided late last year. I had gone, I think, 10 months of straight uploads, and I found a cache of 30 videos, I think, something like that I just never uploaded. I had made them and never uploaded them. So I was allowed the flexibility a little bit with the schedule to get into some higher production value type stuff. And basically I screwed the pooch on staying ahead of scheduling, staying ahead of uploads. So right now I have sort of got myself a 6 video lead. And once I get to 10, I'll be able to delve back into these videos. So I don't know when I can promise Carrie episode 2, Carrie episode 3, The Great Gatsby episode 2, and The Great Gatsby episode 3, but I am working on them. So Carrie will only be, I believe, a 3-part read-along. There is a large first section, a very large second section, and then a short third section. After that, we will get into the review for Carrie. Then an opening paragraph video, probably, maybe a great quotes video, though there's not a whole lot of quotable stuff in Carrie, at least so far. I will probably get into the darkest detail for Carrie. I already have one in mind, so unless something else blows me out of the water as far as what the darkest element of that novel would be, I have it in my mind. The Great Gatsby, I started that way too long ago. I have an outline for an episode 2. I just haven't found the chutzpah to sit down and get that worked out. When we get to the short stories, these are all by Ernest Hemingway. I don't know why I didn't finish that, but the first 2 there, The Revolutionist and Mr. and Mrs. Eliot, I have already shot. I have already edited. I have to upload. I believe what I am going to do is run these videos on Tuesdays through the month. So The Revolutionist and Mr. and Mrs. Eliot are already done. Cat in the Rain and Cat Out of Season will be coming this month as well. With the Hemingway stuff, it's always a different experience to make your way back through Ernest Hemingway. Ernest Hemingway is a writer that puts so much stuff into the short story under the surface that you step away from the short story and you forget some of what it's about. You've forgotten the entire short story, and you have changed in your life, and you are able to bring different experiences into the short story. That is something that I really experienced with Mr. and Mrs. Eliot. There is a great big point in that short story that I had never caught before. And that is the 15th video, I believe, in that series. In these 15 videos, there's probably 4 of them that you read the short story and you think, yeah, so what? So what? And if you or I wrote that short story and submitted it to an editor, they would just throw it in the trash. They probably wouldn't even give us a rejection notice, right? But because it was Ernest Hemingway, everybody said, okay, well, give me a second. This is probably clever. You and I don't have the advantage of clever. If you and I write a short story that doesn't have something very shiny right on the surface for someone to get hooked in by, it's trash. But Ernest Hemingway was able to write these very, very clever short stories that that then get the benefit of doubt, get the benefit of time, get the benefit of labor by the reader, and now they are here. We are 100 years later, still reading them. 100 years. A lot of these short stories. A lot of these short stories are in the public domain. 100 years of being published. So now the poems. So we've got 4 novel videos, hopefully, 4 short story videos, almost definitely, and now the poems that I'm going to be doing videos for. New Feet Within My Garden Go by Emily Dickinson is already made. I've already got that video made. It will be uploaded. I believe I'm going to do the Emily Dickinson stuff on Mondays through the month. So there will be one more Emily Dickinson beside what is listed on here. Yeah, there are 4 Mondays in June. So there will be one more Emily Dickinson that is not on that list. If Recollecting Were Forgetting by Emily Dickinson, this is a poem that, like that Ernest Hemingway idea, I read it the first time and thought, so what? But then I had to go back through and pick something out of it because it is Emily Dickinson. I know that something else is there. I just have to get to it. Then The Bone That Has No Marrow by Emily Dickinson. I thought that was a very clever poem. Again, one that the language involved is normally the type of language that I'm not reading this, right? Because it's just sort of circular. But once you get to the end of it, once you get through maybe the surface level of that reading, there's a lot more there. To E.T. by Robert Frost, not extraterrestrials, but to his buddy that was lost in war. That was a poem, not my favorite Robert Frost, but certainly not at the bottom of the barrel as far as Robert Frost goes. I think that's probably a mid-level Robert Frost poem, but even a mid-level Robert Frost poem is definitely worth checking out. You may have noticed a lot more Walt Whitman on the channel. In fact, you may have noticed some Walt Whitman on the channel. I don't really think I have ever done Walt Whitman for the last couple of months, but I started reading a little bit more Whitman and wanted to talk about some of it. So now I think I'm going to make a dedicated series on Song of Myself. If I am not mistaken, there are 52 verses for Song of Myself. So that is one a week for an entire year. I'm going to be running these, I believe, on Sundays. So besides Saturday, Sunday is the day of the month where there are 5 occurrences in June 2024. So I will have 5 verses from Song of Myself for these days. Now, you will notice there are 30 days in June. There are 17 ideas listed before you. Probably most of the other content will be poetry in order that I am able to, on occasion, double up production on a day to get one hammered out and get one in the bank. If you have requests for poems that you would like to see me talk about, let me know in the comments section. Let me know if there are poets you would like to see done on the channel or more from on the channel. This is there's a couple more series that I'm maybe going to start. I have to hammer out the details on those series. One of them is a writer's quote type series, but it is going to be a little bit more broad than the writer's quote series that I have on the channel. So maybe get ready for that. What really holds me back when doing these things is the daily upload schedule, because I am not sure when I don't have a template for a show, right? Short story discussions. I have a So What Happened, a writer's or a literary criticism, and a writer's corner portion of the show. When I read a short story, I am able to say, okay, these are the components that I'll be looking for through this short story, get to the end of it, and be able to have a show to produce. When it's something completely new, it is hard for me to sit down to do it, not know how long it's going to take, and understand that I have to have a video up anyhow. So that's a little bit of what's holding me back. But that is the month of June to be. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you like or appreciate what I do here, hitting the like button really does help me out, as it tells YouTube to share this video with other literature fanatics. If you find yourself here by chance but not design, literature is the only thing I talk about on this channel, dropping basically a video every day of the week for almost a year and a half now. So what was I saying? Yeah, subscribe, stick around, and I hope to have you back for the next one.